Greetings, Speaker in House. Being of one country, we should stand proud and strive to work for the benefits of the nation. We, as side proposition, stand for the motion that this House would make national service mandatory. I'll be providing 2 points which focus on service to the country being patriotic and more jobs which will be created. As side proposition today, we are defining national service as any form of work which will benefit the country, and mandatory, which means compulsory. Our policy is that everyone over the age of 18 years of age will have to do national service, and every type of job or employment has to be a form of national service. We are sending the parameters for this debate to South Africa, and this debate is relevant because South Africa is slowly losing its unity factor, and this could be a way to replenish this. Moving on to my positive matter, which are my 2 points. My first one is service to the country being patriotic. So making national service compulsory will increase patriotism. Now, patriotism is a strong belief or pride in one's country, and we feel that patriotism will increase the country's unity. And since we'll be focusing on one cause, and everyone will be supporting one cause, this will prevent South Africans fighting against one another, and will basically be for one thing, and this will take our minds off fighting against one another, which is what we see at the moment in our country right now. There have been racist remarks. There have also been fights amongst South Africans, which is not really patriotic. Another factor that we see as being a benefit to making national service mandatory is that this will increase the working force, and in turn it will increase the country's productivity, and this will then make our economy stronger, since the rand is rapidly weakening. So if we have more people working in our public sector and for the government and for our country as a whole, we will then be able to make the economy stronger, and therefore strengthening our rand. My second point will be focusing on more jobs which will be created. So as we know, South Africa is a poverty-stricken country, and this is mostly because of unemployment in the country. And so with making national service mandatory, we'll be providing jobs for most people in the country which are below the poverty line in our country. And with more jobs created in the public sector and for people without jobs, it will lessen the unemployment rates, and therefore when it's lowering the unemployment rates, it will lower crime statistics, because then in our country we have seen that it is mostly poor people who resort to crime, and therefore by giving poor people jobs will then be lessening the crime rates. So in essence, what we're saying is mandatory national service is something that is needed in our country at this moment. The effects of it could help with issues like unemployment and crime, as I've mentioned in my second point, that poor people are mostly the people that resort to crime, and by making national service mandatory, we'll be providing more jobs in the public sector, which will then increase our country's economy, which will which will strengthen the rand, which we're saying that it is decreasing rapidly at this moment. Making mandatory national service compulsory, it is also going to boost our national pride, and we're going to have other things to focus on other than each other's differences, like I mentioned in our first point. And we will also be able to be proud of our country, and because we'll be working towards making our country a better place, and we'll also be able to work through our differences, because then we'll know that, well, we're not doing it for any other person, we're doing it so that our country is a better place, and we are proud to live in a country where everyone will be patriotic and fight and be proud to be part of and be proud that they're doing something that contributes towards the country's growth, the country's economy, and so forth. So to conclude, we strongly stand for the motion and support mandatory national service because of the national benefits